Hi dear students, I hope you all are fine. Today we are going to discuss 8th standard history, 3rd chapter, ruling the countryside. In the previous chapter you have studied about Battle of Buxar. On 12th August 1765, the Mughal Emperor appointed East India Company as the Diwan of Bengal. What is Diwani right? That also you have studied in the previous chapter, that Diwani right means the right to collect taxes. As Diwan, the company became the chief financial administrator of the territory under its control. Now East India Company got the right to collect revenue from its territories. British Company was an alien power to us. It was required to pacify those who ruled the countryside in the past. That means British East India Company want to get the support of village people, especially peasants and cultivators. Next, the revenue for the company. The company saw itself primarily as a trader. Diwan wanted a large revenue income. Within 5 years, the value of goods bought by the company in Bengal doubled. Bengal economy faced a deep crisis. Artisanal production and agricultural cultivation showed signs of collapse. In 1770, a terrible famine killed 10 million people in Bengal. About 1/3 of population was wiped out. So, after giving the right to collect revenue, Bengal economy faced an economic crisis. British East India Company, they adopted different methods to increase their income. Previous chapter also that we discussed their different policies to expand their territories. But here we are going to discuss what are the different policies they adopted to collect revenue. First one, permanent settlement. What is permanent settlement? Permanent settlement, it was introduced in 1793. During that time, Charles Cornwallis was the Governor General of India. According to this settlement, Rajas and Talukdars were considered as Zamindars. Who were Zamindars? What was their duty? Collect revenue. So, they were asked to collect revenue from the peasants, and the Zamindars, they have to give it to the East India Company. The amount to be paid was fixed permanently. See, the name itself, it is permanent settlement. The revenue fixed permanently. This would ensure a regular flow of revenue into the company's coffers, and at the same time encourage the Zamindars to invest in improving the land. So, what was their motive? To improve the land and also to ensure a regular flow of income to their treasury. Revenue would not be increased, and the Zamindars would benefit from increased production from the land. In future, British East India Company, they cannot increase the existing revenue because they already fixed the revenue. The Zamindars would benefit from increased production from the land. Then this permanent settlement, it also created some problems. That we can check what were the problems after this permanent settlement. Zamindars did not have any interest in improving land. Zamindars, they haven't shown any interest, or they haven't invested anything to improve the land. The revenue was too high for Zamindars to pay. Already British East India Company fixed a huge amount as revenue. So, it was difficult for the Zamindars to pay the fixed amount. Anyone who failed to pay the revenue lost his zamindari. If any zamindar failed to pay the fixed revenue, he will lose that zamindari. By 19th century, zamindars' income increased but no gain for the company. By 19th century, their production increased. Peasants, their production increased and also their revenue increased. Zamindars got more amount than the fixed amount, but no gain for the longevity. The rent to pay for the peasants was high, and his right on the land was insecure. This peasant, they had to pay high rent for their land. Sometimes to pay the rent, they have to take loans from money lenders. The cultivators found the system extremely oppressive. After the permanent settlement, there were some problems. British East India Company devised the policy. They introduced a new system of revenue that is called Mahalwari system. Mahal means village. So in this Mahalwari system, it was based on western provinces of Bengal. Here, an Englishman called Hort Mackenzie, he devised the policy that is called Mahalwari settlement that came into effect in 1822. What was Mahalwari system? See, collectors went from village to village, inspecting the land, measuring the fields, and recording the customs and rights of different groups. The estimated revenue of each village within a village was added up to calculate the revenue that each village had to pay. They estimated the amount of each village. This demand was to be revised periodically, not permanently. We know in the previous revenue policy, that is permanent settlement, they fixed the amount. But here, that was their main drawback of permanent settlement. But here, they changed their policy. See, the demand was to be received periodically, not permanently fixed. If they want to change it, they can change. The charge of collecting the revenue and paying it to the company was given to the village headman rather than the zamindar. Permanent settlement, we can see the role of zamindar, but here the right to collect revenue, it was given to village headman rather than the zamindar. So here there is no role for zamindar. Another system of revenue introduced by British East India Company, it is known as Raitwari system or Monroe system. In the British territories in the south, Monroe or the Raitwari system was introduced. It was tried on a small scale by Captain Alexander Reid. Later, it was developed by Thomas Monroe. So, this system, it is also known as Monroe system. In the south, there were no traditional zamindars. In permanent settlement, zamindars collected the revenue. In Mahalwari settlement, village headmen collected the revenue. But here, there is no role for zamindars. The settlement had to be made directly with the cultivators. That is the importance. This settlement had to be made directly with the cultivators. Their field had to carefully and separately surveyed before the revenue assessment was made. Monroe thought that British could act as a paternal father figure, protecting the rights under their charge. So British East India Company, they introduced different policies to increase their revenue. But all these three systems, or with all these three systems, they were not satisfied. Indian peasants also, they were not satisfied. It created many problems among Indians. So many peasants, they deserted their villages, and British, they thought that this new system would transform Indian peasants into rich enterprising farmers, but it didn't happen. So these are the important revenue policies introduced by British. With this topic, we have covered the first section of our chapter, and we will continue with next topic in the next class. Thank you.